Please be seated. Hello, I'm Dr. Jose Sararelli, Dean of the College of Business and Economics, and on behalf of West Virginia University, President Gee, and the faculty and staff in the College of Business and Economics, I want to welcome our guests to the 145th West Virginia University Commencement Ceremony. This is a day I'm sure you have waited for with anticipation for a long time. One of those special moments that will remain with everyone here forever. Before we begin our program, I'd like to recognize the individuals seated at the stage. As I mention each one of them, I will ask them to stand and remain standing until all are introduced. Please, let's hold your applause until all of the stage party have been recognized. To my immediate left is West Virginia University President E. Gordon Gee, who will be conferring degrees this evening. Our honorary degree recipient, Fred Tattersall. Lisa Di Bartolomeo, Faculty Senate Chair. Professor Stratford Douglas, representing the Department of Economics. Professor Scott Fleming, representing the Department of Accounting. Professor Elizabeth Vitullo, Director of Master's Programs. John Cawthorn, Dean of Libraries. Cynthia Roth, West Virginia University Foundation President and CEO. Professor Paul Speaker, representing the Department of Finance. And Professor Nancy McIntyre, Associate Dean, who will be reading the names of our graduates this evening. To my right, our alumni commencement speaker, Bill Sheedy. Professor Karen Donovan, Associate Dean. Professor William Riley, representing Finance. West Virginia University's Grand Marshal Kari Sen-Janklin. Professor Joyce Heems, representing the Department of Management. David Hendrickson, Higher Education Policy Commission member. John Daly, West Virginia University Board of Governors Chair. And Professor Andy Wood, representing the Department of Marketing. Now we have a round of applause. The College of Business and Economics banner was carried by Langston Bryan. A round of applause for Langston. Langston is a native of Upper Marlboro, Maryland. He's graduating with a Master of Science in Industrial Relations. I would like to recognize our faculty and student marshals who carried in the degree banners. Please stand as your name is called, and please hold your applause until the end. PhD in Economics, Amanda Menzik. Bachelor of Science in Economics, Carl Roncaglione, and Professor Amanda Ross, Faculty Marshal. Master of Professional Accountancy, Amanda Wharton, and Professor Jack Dormany, Faculty Marshal. MBA and EMBA, Nicholas Cerrone, and Professor Jeff Houghton, Faculty Marshal. Master of Science in Finance, Yu Hu, Professor Alex Kurov, Faculty Marshal. Master of Science in Industrial Relations, Sam Astley, and President Neil Bucklew, Faculty Marshal. Bachelor of Business Administration, Accounting, Sidney Thornton, Professor Kip Holderness. Bachelor of Business Administration in Business Management, Hannah Smith, Professors Abhishek Srivastava, Faculty Marshal. Bachelor of Business Administration, Finance, James Sirokman, Professor Frank DeGeorge, Faculty Marshal. Bachelor of Business Administration, General Business, Anna Shimaliki, Professor David Kale, Faculty Marshal. Bachelor of Business Administration, Management Information Systems, Sean McNoll, Professor Ednison Bernardis, Faculty Marshal. Bachelor of Business Administration, Marketing, Nicole Senjid, Professor Jody Krosno, Faculty Marshal. Applause. Next, I would like to recognize the faculty of the College of Business and Economics. The faculty is the engine that drives the college and the university. Faculty members, please rise and be recognized. I would also like to recognize the staff of the College of Business and Economics. These individuals have volunteered their time and services to carry out this evening's ceremony. Staff members, please rise and be recognized. We would also like to recognize graduates, faculty, and staff who have served this nation with valor and sacrifice, and thank them for the dedication and commitment they and their families have given. The red, white, and blue cords some of the students wear today are a tribute to their selfless service. If everyone who has served, would you please stand? At this time, I would like to welcome West Virginia President E. Gordon Yee and Faculty Senate Chair Lisa DiBartolomeo to the podium as we begin the honorary degree presentation.
Fred T. Tattersall graduated with honors from West Virginia University's College of Business and Economics, Bachelor of Science in Finance in 1970. He was elected to Beta Gamma Sigma in his junior year. He was a senior vice president of what is now Bank of America, and then became a partner at Lowe, Brockenbrough, Tierney, and Tattersall. A successful spin-off in 1997 created the Tattersall Advisory Group, which was sold to First Union Bank in 1999, with Mr. Tattersall staying on as CEO. He is now chairman of 1607 Capital Partners, a Richmond-based investment management company established in 2007. Mr. Tattersall has served as the past chair of the Community Foundation, serving Richmond and Central Virginia, the University of Richmond Trustee Board as a member of the Executive Committee and chair of the Investment Committee, the Virginia Museum Board of Trustees, and the West Virginia University Foundation Board of Directors, where he serves as a member of the Executive Committee and chairs the Investment Committee. Mr. Tattersall's greatest contribution outside of business have been to the First T organization, focused on impacting young people by providing educational programs that build character, instill life-enhancing values, and promote healthy choices through the game of golf. He serves as a national trustee and was the founder of the local Richmond chapter, where he has served as president since 1998. He was recently appointed to the nation's organization's board of directors. Mr. President, I present to you Fred T. Tattersall.
So, Fred. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Fred T. We are delighted to have Mr. Tattersall with us today. Fred T. Tattersall, on this day, May 10th, 2014, in recognition of your eminent career, distinguished leadership in your community, and your sustained service to this university, and by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the West Virginia University Board of Governors, I hereby confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Letters with all the rights, honors, and privileges appertaining thereto. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Dr. Fred T. Tattersall to the podium.
Thank you. I'm deeply humbled and honored by this doctorate, and go Mountaineers.
Alumni are critical to the success of every university and college. Alumni support can include providing internships, mentoring students, financial contributions, just to list a few. I would like to ask all of West Virginia University alumni with us this evening to stand and be recognized. We are extremely honored to have this year's commencement speaker, Bill Sheedy, with us today. In 1988, he graduated from B&E with a finance degree and then went on to earn an MBA from University of Notre Dame. He was one of 3 children in his family to attend West Virginia University and remembers what it was like that drew him to Morgantown and University when his older sister attended WVU. It felt like the right place for me, he said. Now Executive Vice President, Corporate Strategy, Mergers and Acquisitions, Government Relations, and Europe for Visa, Sheedy is responsible for charting the company's strategic direction in driving growth, expanding the company's relationship with governments and regulators globally, and leading critical initiatives and transactions with clients and partners around the world. He was previously a group president for the Americas and oversaw Visa's businesses in North America, Central America, South America, and the Caribbean across nearly 50 countries. Prior to that, he served as president of the company's North America region. He also played a leadership role in managing Visa's corporate restructuring that merged multiple regional Visa entities into a single global company, culminating in Visa's very successful initial public offering in 2008. Earlier in his career, Bill managed Visa's U.S. pricing and economics strategies. He joined the company in 1993 as an executive in Visa's strategy and pricing division. Please join me in welcoming our 2014 commencement speaker, a shining star in the international business community and fellow Mountaineer, Bill Sheedy.
Thank you, Dean Sartorelli, faculty, staff, graduates, and honored guests. I am truly honored to be with you here today at your commencement from a place that is extraordinarily special to me. I came to Morgantown in the fall of 1984 from a small town in Pennsylvania, following my sister who graduated from WVU just a few years prior. It means a lot to me that the person who inspired me to be a Mountaineer, my sister Kathleen, is here with me today. As Zito mentioned, I left Morgantown with a finance degree in 1988 spent 2 years in the Midwest, and found myself in San Francisco, where I've been ever since. I've been with Visa for 21 years, and most of my comments today will be observations from my time in business in the hope that some of what I've found to be important can be useful to you. But before I begin, I'd like to say the following. In addition to being honored to be here, I'm also immensely grateful. Second only to my family, my 4 years in Morgantown shaped me in innumerable ways for which I am deeply indebted. Even if you graduates today may not fully appreciate it yet, many of the prior graduates and administrators here understand that this is a uniquely special place. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Dean Sartorelli for reconnecting me with WVU, a place that I love. Instead of starting with my own comments, I'd like to share 2 messages from other commencements I've attended. I found these especially apt for this day and hope you agree. My favorite is a commencement from Bill Cosby. Now, channeling a comedic genius is dangerous, but I'll try. Bill didn't focus that day on what he described to be the self-absorbed graduates. Instead, his message was about gratitude. He paid tribute to the parents and the family assembled on the graduates' behalf and congratulated the families for, as Bill put it, allowing the graduates to live to see this day. Bill said he was certain most of those seeking diplomas weren't as grateful as they should be for the very many sacrifices made on their behalf. To the graduates here today, I'm begging you, please take a moment, thank your family for not, as Bill put it, abandoning you by the side of the road. Robert Gates, former U.S. Secretary of Defense, delivered a traditional but inspired address at my nephew's graduation. His message focused on the importance of giving back. Mr. Gates explained that our higher order priority, much more important than pursuing a career, is to serve others. Some of you will dedicate your lives to charity, education, and other noble causes. Most of us take a traditional path, but each of you is capable of so much more than a life in business. So as you pursue your career, strive for balance in your life by serving others. Start early. You will get perspective and fulfillment that's very important for your journey. So I will turn now to my personal comments for you. As I prepared for today, I wondered what I could possibly offer that might be of value. It occurred to me that I couldn't recall a bit of the commencement speaker from my graduation in 1988. Probably like you, I was focused that day on what was to come next, the future. Leaving college is, in many ways, the most exciting and terrifying step of your lives. So with that in mind, I'd like to share some thoughts about your future. I'll begin by challenging the somewhat popular notion that your generation will have it harder than your parents and your grandparents. Every one of us has felt the effects of the catastrophic global financial crisis from which we're still struggling to emerge, and it's made every one of us a bit cautious. But as we look forward, I'd like to convince you that you should feel anything but cautious. In fact, I'd like to try to convince you that you have the potential for unprecedented prosperity. I hope that you make your decisions as you leave Morgantown and proceed on your journey with that as your context. In my view, this particular class is emerging from WVU at a time of astonishing potential that exceeds any class in the history of our university. Why am I so optimistic? There's a host of reasons, but there are 2 transformations in particular in your future that make me exceedingly optimistic. The first is technology, and it's not particularly bold for me to stay here and talk about how technology will change the world. It already has. But I really don't think that we've seen anything yet. The second transformation that I'd like to talk about, unique to your generation, is something that may sound basic, perfecting how groups of people will work together. So let me elaborate. Where I live in Silicon Valley, there's a buzz around the technology revolution. In my opinion, technology's impact on us thus far has been relatively small scale compared to what's going to come. Today, the scope of most technology is in the context of business and people communicating, accessing information, and performing tasks. What's to come next is going to be game-changing, not so that you should become technologists, but because it's going to drive a wave of economic growth that you're going to ride. Steve Jobs once said, "Technology is nothing. What's important is that you have faith in people, that they're basically good and smart, and if you give them the tools, they'll do wonderful things with them." Today's technology, in my opinion, for the most part, does not give people wonderful tools or tools to do wonderful things. That's changing. And I see this change accelerating in positive consequences that are even more wonderful than what you might imagine. For your generation, this means that we are on the threshold of an extraordinary era of growth and prosperity across almost any dimension imaginable. In my opinion, these transformations will rival, in relative terms, the global benefits achieved with the Industrial Revolution 2 centuries ago. So a few things to consider. Nanomedicine and genome-based drugs will help your generation live longer and healthier than any group of people who have ever existed. There will be waves and waves of technology innovation and solutions to generate power at remarkably low cost. Thanks to ubiquitous web and massive expansions in broadband, new learning applications will reinvent the way that we educate our children and ourselves. And lastly, potentially the most important, the production and distribution of food and other basic needs in your lifetime will finally make possible an end to poverty for the billions of the world's citizens who are in need. These and many other developments will be wonderful, of course, but my point today is more about the contributions advancements in technology will make towards economic growth and prosperity, and it's clear to me your generation will be part of something extraordinary. As impressive as they are, there is much that you will accomplish and experience beyond these technology-driven improvements. Next, I'd like to talk about the future of the world's organizations and how your generation will fundamentally change how organizations work. Your generation has unique skills and capabilities to make this possible. That's important because in one way or another, everything that we do is through an organization of people. What I will describe applies to any type of organization, large or small. For millennia, organizations have operated as hierarchies, most of them in rather rigid ways. It started first with government, then military, but has become the structure for business in almost any group of people you can imagine. Why? The traditional way of grouping people layers upon layers in an organization has been our only way to ensure effective communication, alignment, and division of responsibilities. I believe you will change that for the better. Any business person will tell you that hierarchy is the close cousin of bureaucracy, and business people loathe bureaucracy. The founder of my company, Visa, was Dee Hock. Dee had strong opinions, as most visionaries do. One of his most firmly held views was about bureaucracy. Simply put, he hated it. 50 years ago, Dee understood that customers and competition are constantly shifting, while the traditional structure used by companies is resistant to change. So at the risk of oversimplifying, Dee believed that the world is dynamic, organizations should be as well, and he was right. But like many visionaries, he was ahead of his time. I'm convinced that you, our next generation of business leaders, will realize Dee's vision. Why do I believe that? Because you have a capability no other generation has, and it's come from the most ambitious and successful cultural experiment in the world's history, that of social networking. Someone once said the Stone Age didn't end because they ran out of stone, it ended because they invented bronze. The change that will break down organizational bureaucracy is rooted in how your generation communicates with groups of people and uses technology to accomplish it. On your watch, organizations will be flatter and more nimble, thanks primarily to enhanced communication and, as a result, an improved ability to respond to customers and competition. I work for a massive global company, and I can assure you, improving the flow of information and breaking down layers has enormous benefits. I'd like to close now with a bit of advice. The following have worked consistently for me over my career, and I hope they are of value to you as well. Number one, not surprisingly, hard work. Work really hard, harder than everybody. Spend your time with people who work hard. Be fully invested. Number two, I'll call it professionalism. I've seen lots of folks impale their careers by being rude to the travel department. Always be considerate and respectful. The third point, courage, is very difficult. Your work ethic and professionalism are certainly necessary, but courage is even more important. It's critical at those few career-changing moments that you be your most vocal when everyone else is scared. And my fourth and final point relates to learning. Never stop asking questions. Remember that technology will change everything. You should be the person in the room that has studied the topic and can explain it. There will be a time early in your career when you will have a choice between jobs. Within reason, never decide based on money. Most important, in my view, early in your career, look for and decide on a person. Is this a person from whom you are excited to learn? Even in a larger company, find that person and be excited about the people with whom you'll work closely. Instinct is the hardest to describe, and over the longer term, it will have the most impact. You must trust your gut. When something doesn't feel right, trust yourself, speak up, and act accordingly. When you make a decision, trust it until you're otherwise certain. This approach has never let me down, has made all the difference for me. 3 years ago, my father passed away, and my siblings and I had to write his obituary. After feeling overwhelmed initially by how to capture in a few words the essence of this wonderful man and small-town doctor, we coalesced around the following. He lived committed to leaving a place better than where he found it. For my dad, his place was the many ways he touched and helped people. Some of you will be CEOs or invent fantastic products that will leave a lasting mark. I'd like to close with a plea for those of us in the fat part of the curve. Your life and business is not about winning or financial success. It's about people. That's true for a small-town doctor or an executive with a multinational corporation. My eldest son will start college in the fall. I'll fill him with lots of advice, even though I know he must figure things out on his own. However, as I'm leaving his dorm in August, I hope I remember to tell him the following. Be dedicated to your craft and be proud of the important decisions you make and the ways in which those decisions impact other people. With these, I promise you, you will give yourself the best opportunity for success and fulfillment. Thank you all very much, and congratulations to each of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jocelyn Rachel, singing My Home Among the Hills, composed in 1963 in honor of West Virginia's centennial celebration by Clarksburg native Mr. E.W. James.
Sky is blue above.
Professor McIntyre will read the names of each graduate. But first, I invite Professor Stratford Douglas to the podium to make some introductory remarks about the academic regalia worn by our graduates.
During this evening's ceremony, you'll notice students in various colored robes with various cords and stoles. The gold robes signify students graduating from the WVU Honors College. The blue and gold cords signify students graduating with Latin honors. The Latin honors designations are listed in the commencement program as well. The various stoles signify membership in honorary fraternities, completion of academic minors, and/or certificate programs. Following a custom established in the 14th century, modern-day scholars display their academic achievements by wearing traditional regalia at convocations and other ceremonies. An important part of the regalia is the academic hood, which we present today to those who have earned the Doctor of Philosophy and Master's degrees. The academic hood is a visual representation of the level of academic achievement and the degree being conferred. The hood is larger and more ornate for higher degrees. The chevron and the lining of the hood display the colors of the university from which the degree was earned. So, because my degree is from the University of North Carolina, my hood is Carolina blue and white. At times, gets a cheer in Chapel Hill. At times, colored robes are worn to represent an institution. For example, the dean wears a green robe representing Michigan State University. The color of the velveteen trim, this part here, represents the field of the degree earned. For example, a Doctor of Medicine receives a Kelly green hood. Dark blue trim denotes a Doctor of Philosophy or PhD degree, regardless of the subject. Earning a Doctor of Philosophy in economics typically requires 4 to 6 years of rigorous full-time schooling and research beyond the bachelor's degree. During much of this time, the student works closely with a faculty member in writing a dissertation, which is a substantial piece of original research. In recognition of the supervisor's roles as teacher and mentor, we ask them to hood their former students who are receiving the doctorate. Hooding marks the end of a long, sometimes difficult, and ultimately successful partnership, a culmination we are all privileged to witness here today. Will the candidates for the PhD in economics rise and approach the stage?
Thank you. Amanda Maria Manzik. Serkan Karadas. Hussein Radmard. Kathleen Marie Sheehan. Shada Tamori. Zheng Tian. Will the candidates for the Master of Professional Accountancy rise and approach the stage? Amanda Wardle. William Cook. Uriah Lee Cummings. Matthew Allen Godwin. Jeremy Daniel Munza. Adam Scott Pauley. Fiona Louise Parati. Chester Vernon Roberts III.
You guys are easy. It's international students that get tough.
Brad Michael Glenn Ryan. Jeremy D. Smith. Shelley Renee Stump.
Oh, it's a really hard one.
Noureddin A. Tojubaba. Larissa Marie Zorn. Caxon Louis. Will the candidates for the Master of Business Administration please rise and approach the stage? Stephen Eugene Blandy. William Anthony Burdett. Mary Allison Berger. Raymond Machadi Conrad. Carolyn Teresa Cumberledge. Danielle Lips DeLong. Amy Donata. Chris Farrell. Paul Robert Fetty, Jr. Andrew Michael Stemple Hinchman.
I knew this might happen. I forgot about that. You look like your grandpa.
Emily Gentry Kelly. Jennifer Ann Kelly. Isam Koshak.
I get middle names now.
Nathan Andrew Coast.
I can do it.
Harry Jackson Lake.
What's your S? I'm at SVT.
Our next candidate is receiving both his MBA and his law degree. Ahmed S. Matini.
I think Guy wants to congratulate everyone.
Darren Gregory Morris. Patrick Joseph Padula.
You want me to tell you what it is? You're not going to give your full name. It's Rudder, right? Rudder, not Rudder.
J.C. Rudder. Ravi Jyothi. Nicholas Joseph Sharon. Andrew Sarver. Matthew Ryan Sickles. Christopher Ryan Williams. Timothy Lewis Smith. Peter Simon Zulia. Zachary T. Stanley.
Could be. Alan, you said, right? Alan.
Keith Allen Thurston. David William Triplett. Our next candidate is receiving a dual degree, his MBA and his law degree. Charles Samuel Trump V. Robert Lee Wirtz III. William Eugene Wright. Will the candidates for the Master of Science in Finance please rise and approach the stage?
It's okay, you just have to get in. This is yours.
Our next candidate is receiving a dual degree, both her MBA and her Master of Finance. Catherine Hu.
I think it's easier, but I'll do it.
Fengyi Cheng.
Are you doing MBA?
Our next candidate is also receiving both his MBA and his Master of Finance. Felix Gui. Joseph James Henry III.
Too tall.
Yisha Lee. The show goes on. Our next candidate is receiving a dual degree also, her MBA and an MS in Finance. Shebu Lee. I'm sorry, not she. Shebu Lee. Alan Carmen Rusniak. Tyler Nathaniel Smith. Weihan Wang. Our next candidate is receiving both her MBA and her MS in Finance. Bingbing Shui. Jamin Yin. Louis Zhuang. Will the candidates for the Master of Science in Industrial Relations please rise and approach the stage? Samuel Allen Astley. Layla Faray Alanazi. Erin Michelle Bowers. Jacob Bowman. Langston Charles Bryant. Daniel Carlson.
Oh, I like your.
Megan Elizabeth Kaufman. Ariel Blake Fink. Natalie Ann French.
Oh, nice flowers.
Megan Danielle Garcia. Alexa Hadfield. Caitlin Ryan Julio. Carrie Elizabeth Johnson.
Can I introduce you as the mountaineer? Are you X?
Our next candidate is actually our mountaineer, Jonathan Franklin Kimball.
I know, isn't it? You don't even have a tail on yours.
Cody Michael Leonard. Hannah Jane Long.
Nice shoes.
Danielle Mackey. Anna Novakova. Julia Michelle Sankbill.
Like the ship. Bet you never heard that.
James V. Santamaria. Shannon Amanda Teets.
No, you can't graduate.
Stephen Matthew Thompson. Howard Joseph Breedlove Wilson. Nathaniel Jonathan Wright. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Economics major rise and approach the stage? Kevin Ahmed. Deanne Bumgara. Maura Elizabeth Margison Ellsworth. Jason Gutnick. Reed Anthony Saloni. Carl James Rancaglione III. Jacqueline Elizabeth O'Donnell. Jennifer Elaine Swanson. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with an accounting major rise and approach the stage? Sydney Elizabeth Thornton. Amar Adel Adganman. Our next candidate is receiving a degree in both finance and accounting, Cody Dillon Ballard. John Stephen Ballingy. Anthony Michael Barton. Cody J. Bascom. Cassandra Jordan Bayless. Megan Jean Benham. Andrew Colin Binney. Zachary Bogardus. Christopher John Benelli. Michael John Patrick Bornak. Matthew James Brown. Zachary Robert Buckland. Emma Jane Cool. William David Cornell. Bo William Chokda. Tyler Sear. John Patrick Dunn. Jack Emery.
Hard one. Alexander Fajardo. Fajardo.
Alexander Fajardo.
Robert Clark Farrell.
Robert Clark Farrell.
Shauna Lee Fitzwater.
Shauna Lee Fitzwater. Brandon Scott Flanagan. Jared Robert Flynn. Michael Garcia. Nathan Michael Green. Stephen Michael Henderson. Carolee Hope. Logan Guile Hoskinson. Samuel Stephen Jarrett. Bryce Johnson. Anna Marie Kimberling. Darren Michael Klaus. Tyler Damon Kondo. Caitlin Ann Lake. Brett Lambert. Christopher Latanzio. Mario Ladano. Brian Lee. Darren Seth Martz. Whitney Michelle Merrill. Colin Howard Mitchell. Jonathan Derek Munza. James Michael Murphy. Sarah Elizabeth Nesbitt. Amanda Sidney Newpole. Tyler Nilsson. Taylor Palmer. Matthew B. Fiersdorf. Daniel Charles Phibbs. Taylor Robert Poley. Nelson Russell Raines III. Jenna Marie Ranieri. Raza Rabjani. Tyler Roby. Stephen Sadowski. Matthew Ross Sherfanik. Jared Michael Schaefer. Jeffrey Andrew Skeens. Nicholas Sparshane. Michael Stern. Spencer Hayes Tebe. Kevin Allen Thornburg. Jabir Trayor. Stephanie K. Umsetter. Brian Vaughn. Kristen Marie Walp. Owen Morrissey Walsh. Nicolette Walski. Amanda Michelle Welsh. Mariah K. Williamson. Gregory Scott Wilson. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with a business management major rise and approach the stage? Hannah Kathleen Smith. Daniel McLean Alexander. Tyler Astor. David Barton. Austin M. Bergeron. Lee Daniel Beanstalk. Right? Andrew Nicole. Alexandria Nicole. Alexandria Nicole Blank. Board, as in my board? Michael William Board. Michael William Board. You don't want to say Don? Casey Dawn Bozer. You're doing good. Freddie Austin Browse. Thomas Robert Buchler. Jenna Lauren Cadell. Austin Sharp Carrington. Rhea Klein. Dawson Tyler Koger. Joseph Raymond Costanzo. Devin Michael Cazalina. Lena Marie Daisy. Jonathan Thomas DeGarmo. Laura Christine DeMarco. Sarah Marie Depp. Thomas James Dusenberry. Parveen Devi. Gregory Thomas DiLorenzo. David Chase Durr. Ryan Thomas Donovan. Edmund Alexander Driscoll. Zachary Thomas Evans. Thomas Robert Ferrari. Charles Richard Gardner Gibbons. Vanessa Sue Gramlich. Ashley Nicole Grapes. Alexander Terrence Griffith. Robert John Grimm. Kyle Jeffrey Harsh. Jordan Garrett Hatfield. Eric Stephen Hoffman. Ben Hoffman. Logan Matthew Hoser. Casey Brandon Jarrett. Jerry Eugene Joliffe II. Christine Grace Keplinger. Megan Lee Karen. Tyler Jeffrey Keys.
Lindsay Regina
Lindsay Regina Kozik. Lucas James Krasinski. Georgine Susan Kroll. Trevor James Kushner. Nicole Sherry Luth. Adrian Lopez Magno. Matthew Marinese. Logan Markey.
Nice tie. Edward
Hugh McMahon IV.
Messerly.
David Ryan Messerly. Zachary Milkey. Shannon Miskovics.
Jonathan Stephen Molina.
Jonathan Stephen Molina.
Sebastian Monasterio.
Sebastian Monasterio. Shasta Renee Morgan. Jessica Lee Nichols. Emeka Roland Nuwasu Jr. Nicholas Oliva. Eric Stephen Otto. Dylan Reed Panny. Taylor Patterson. Jordan Peck. Michael Anthony Payman. Kyle Mylan Pratt. Spencer Todd Pritchard. Tyree Maurice Proctor. Corey Michael Proetti. Lindsay Michelle Qualteri.
No middle name.
Kevin Quinn. Brian Patrick Reeser. Joshua Joseph Regnier. Clinton Levi Riegelman. Nicholas Rios. Christopher Lane Rittenhouse. Antonio Raphael Rossi. Allie Nicole Rubin. John Francis Scallo, Jr. Kayla Michelle Shrout. Ryan Schutte. Lenore Lynn Shimon. Jeremy Silko. Sarah Elizabeth Simcoe. Trevor Cole Snavely. Dean Lewis Southworth. Alyssa Marie Stahl.
Vincent John Stanziola.
Vincent John Stanziola. Andrew Tackett. Andrew Christopher Vass. Charles Jacob Wagner. Robert Joseph Walters. Austin Michael Wombold. Katie Elizabeth Warren. Katie Elizabeth Warren. Benjamin Matthew Warsaw. Damian Waterman. Adam J. Wells. Bridget Marie West. Sarah Frances Wheeler. John Alexander Williams. Kyle Brandon Wine. Harvey Lee Woodson III. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with a finance major rise and approach the stage? James Michael Sirachman. Oh, I didn't have anybody up there for him. I'll wait till they get organized. We need Bill on the other side. Kyle Edward Ambromzik. Melissa Renee Ackerman. Moyed Abdulazi Almar. Christian Robert Alberico. Ziad Al-Juwair. Hussein Ali Al-Mustafa. Ibrahim Salah Al-Shabnan. James Alley. Brian Michael Arndt. Kent Bailey. Michael Charles Barbaro. Kyle Stephen Barrow. Jennifer Nicole Beatis. Jennifer Nicole Beatis. Parker Blessing. Nathan Dale Bowden. Blake Bruce Caligaro. Lisa Mary Cardone. Lisa Mary Cardone. Giovanni Giovanni Silverio Catalano. Evan Clyde. Dylan Thomas Coberly.
Kaylee Tess Cunningham.
Kaylee Tess Cunningham.
Jordan Lee Damron.
Jordan Lee Damron.
Giving him time to.
Stephen Davalos.
J. Thomas Diamond.
J. Thomas Diamond.
John Henry Siddhartha Daktorsky.
John Henry Siddhartha Daktorsky.
Daryl Kirk Dozier II.
Daryl Kirk Dozier II. Michael Ryan Dunmeyer. Eric Dunn.
Michael Paul Edmondson.
Michael Paul Edmondson.
James Oliver Fankhauser.
James Oliver Fankhauser.
Thomas William Fry.
Thomas William Fry.
Colleen Geis.
Colleen Geis.
Leonardo Giraldo.
Leonardo Giraldo. Christian Glover. Ashna Gupta.
Matthew Hart.
Matthew Hart.
Patrick Conaboy Hartney.
Patrick Conaboy Hartnett. Bjorn Mark Helgo. Nicholas Heil. Evan Charles Hetzel. Ben Hodzik. Michael James Hughes.
Patty Hudson.
Hattie Hudson.
Nazrul Islam.
Nazrul Islam.
Colin J. Keenan.
Colin J. Keenan.
Dylan Robert Knox.
Dylan Robert Knox. Mosan Hassan Kofer. Nicholas Lawrence. Jing Li. Mark Edward Licio. William Reed Lowry. Charles Andrew Matala. Dominic Sinclair Orsini. Adam Christopher Mock. Jenna Marie Morrow.
Zachary Theodore Mazeska.
Zachary Theodore Mazeska. Kevin Patrick McBride.
Christina Marie McGugan. Maria.
Christina Maria McGugan. Marissa Lynn Mahaffey. Brandon Michael Mong. Alexander Oxenberg.
Anthony William Petracci.
Anthony William Petracci. Christian Levon Plante. Samantha Marie Pulte.
Vishnu Medapalli Reddy.
Vishnu Medapalli Reddy. Bradley Michael Riddle. Connor James Rischel. Jessica Ray Rosser. Matthew Joseph Saab. Mitchell Edward Santry. Krista Marie Snyder. Patrick Dillon Tucker. Kendra Sue Welker. Christopher Hunter Westbrook, Jr. Brandon Robert Yonsiak. Mason Young. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with a general business major rise and approach the stage.
It's just one of her. She's got a hard last name, Anna something.
How we doing?
I gotta get a hug. Thank you.
Anna Maria Chimilecki. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with a Management Information Systems major rise and approach the stage?
Three girls. Only three girls in the whole major. Okay.
How are you doing?
They're talking. Yeah. Well, they're hugging, so I'm waiting.
Sean McDonough. Omar Al-Tayeb. Bryce Malone Barker. Joshua Berlin. Michael Robert Bernato. Brittany Danielle Christensen.
Yeah. Is it Christopher or Chris?
Christopher Clark Jr.
Brandon Connors. No middle name. Chase.
Brandon Chase Connors.
Connor Joseph Fry.
Connor Joseph Fry.
Jonathan Lee Gibson.
Jonathan Lee Gibson.
Daniel Stephen Goers.
Danielle Stephen Goers. Rafe Muhammad Hisham. Matthew Christopher Holbert. Andrew Lee Kelly.
Is there a middle name?
Dean Cluse.
You okay? Nicole Ann Lori.
Nicole Ann Laurie.
Andrew James Manchester.
Andrew James Manchester.
Maranowski. I know. After all these.
Michael J. Maranowski.
Joseph Robert McConville.
Joseph Robert McConville. Liam Francis McLaughlin. Thomas John Peart. Jeff Sloan. Matt Spencer. Caitlin Nicole Tomkoski. Justin Richard Toole. Evan Michael Tunick. Dustin Ray Weigel. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with a marketing major rise and approach the stage? Nicole Sanjit. Kaylee Ellen Alfieri.
Hi, you okay?
Caroline Gabrielle Anders. Brandon Biffle. Joshua Billadu. Val Roger Bono. Chad William Burdette. Jonathan Michael Corrado. Joshua C. Cody. Nathan Edward Colombo. Nicholas Andrew Crabtree. James Cunningham. Robert Logan Del Signor. Gregory Michael DePanfilis. Clark Stephen Douglas. Christopher William Driscoll.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying.
Jared Alexander Dursa. Uam Itak. Joshua Scott Fieser. Derek Joseph Feinberg. Lauren Fellner. Brian Thomas Flynn.
Almost there.
Jake Rock Gaffney. Stephanie Rachel Gandy. Carissa Elizabeth Gazda. Jonathan Ward Jency. Troy Austin Gloucester. Nicholas Eric Gorbitz. Matthew Joseph Grondin.
Oh, wait a second,
Javon Maurice Gummer.
David, hey, no middle.
David Daniel Hake.
Brooke, no middle.
Brooke Danielle Hampton. Leah Marie Homan.
Zachary Lloyd Hood.
Zachary Lloyd Hood.
Corey Scott Huber.
Corey Scott Huber.
Yes, I am. Diana Carolina Huertas.
Diana Carolina Huertas.
I'm going to say it.
Megan Elizabeth Hutchinson. Abu B. Jallo. Hussein Jafar Jamali.
Sarah Jane Janowski.
Sarah Jane Janowski. Vanessa Jacqueline Kaiser. Timothy James Kilkenny Jr. Shane Matthew Kosick. Lauren Marie Cutula. John Brendan Kabilis. What'd you do here? Dylan Reed Mahan. Raquel Leanne Malego. Rachel Michelle Martin. Gabrielle Sarah Macero. Matthew Matson. Hannah Michelle May. Kevin Michael Messer. By request, please welcome to the stage Dominic Joseph Murto.
I have no idea what he asked.
Heather Lee Nelson. Samuel James Orkney. Jenna Marie Park. Kayla Michelle Parrish. John Nicholas Pentel. Margaret Wood Posey. Joseph Michael Procopio. Megan Lee Pulliam. Kelsey Lee Purcell. Daniel Charles Riley. Sarah Beatrice Roman. Alexis Nicole Romano. Daniel Joseph Sakel. Rebecca Scholl Sampson. Stephanie Lynn Sieber. John Carey Shelburne. Daniel Roy Skinner.
Like the car? There's a Strickland.
Erica Danielle Strickland. Michael David Stunya. Molly Elizabeth Summers. Jordan Sutton. Erin Elizabeth Thomas. Christopher Patrick Turner. Bryce Logan Warner. Taylor Caitlin Watts. Leland James Webster. Douglas Wheels. Caitlin Marie Wienhoff. Stephen Zantz. Last but not least, Corey Zinn.
Let us welcome President Gee to the podium for the conferral of degrees. President Gee.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's a long day, a fabulous day. Give yourselves a round of applause, would you please? And I'd like to thank all of our special guests, starting with our parents, our families. Thank you very much. And you are a heck of a cheering squad out there. We appreciate all of you. And our newest doctor, Dr. Tattersall, thank you for being with us tonight. And graduates, as you distinguish yourself in your careers, you will also bring distinction to your alma mater, clearly so, because we are very proud now to have our name, this university, and your name linked inextricably forever. So you from this time forward are West Virginia University and embody the hopes and dreams of the university for a brighter tomorrow. Now, I know it's late, but I just have to say this one thing. To the mother up there who met me, and she looked at me and she said, "Are you the president of the university?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "You can't be." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Because you're so small." I am the president of the university, okay? I just wanted to say that. It hasn't been my, it hasn't been my week. I was in the airport on last Saturday, and I was running through the airport, and someone tugged on my sleeve, and they said, "Can we have your autograph?" And I thought, well, how cool. And so I wrote down my name, Gordon Gee, and she said, "Who in heck's sake are you?" I thought you were Lou Holtz. So anyway. Hey, listen, we got to have a little fun tonight, right? So it's been 46 years since I graduated from the university. I can still remember the family, as we heard before, and friends who joined me, the people with whom I sat at the ceremony and the post-graduation celebration. But as to what the university president said, I can't remember a damn thing. So I will make my commentary very short. As you go forward, ladies and gentlemen, be bold. Be bold. Obey the better angels of your nature. Avoid wearing flip-flops to a job interview. Know that your life will not always go according to plan, and you know something? That's all right. If at first you don't succeed, try management. Oh, come on. Enjoy the little things. One day you will look back and realize they were big things. Keep in touch with your old friends. Let me just say that again. Keep in touch with your old friends. It is easier than ever these days, but stop Snapchatting and Instagramming long enough to make new friends, too. Remember to say thank you. Remember to smile. And always, always remember this great institution. You have made us better, and you will make us great. So our dean and the College of Business and Economics are doing great things. So we plan on keeping in touch with you, you with us, and we're going to have a great army of blue and gold throughout this nation and beyond. I cannot wait to see where your journey takes you and how your West Virginia University education will help you change the world. Congratulations and best wishes to all of you. Will the degree candidates, will all of you please stand now, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, yours is a field of tremendous importance to everyday life. Your work will help people and organizations make sound decisions to generate a more prosperous society. With your strong grasp of business principles, communication, and technological skill, you are well prepared to meet the challenges of the global marketplace. As you make your way in that marketplace, I trust that you will do so with an entrepreneurial spirit and the highest ethical standards. As a West Virginia University graduate, aspire to put your education to work to solve the world's greatest challenges. Hone your ability to uncover facts, analyze problems, and share knowledge. Dream big. Say that again, dream big, and take your mountaineer pride wherever you go. You are the best ambassadors for West Virginia University and the power of an educated citizenry. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the West Virginia University Board of Governors, I hereby confer upon you the degrees for which you have been recommended with all the rights, honors, and privileges appertaining thereto. You may now move your tassels to the left side of your cap. As a symbol of your congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, thank you. I would like to take the opportunity now to invite Cassandra Bayless to the podium to give the senior charge. Cassandra?
We've done it. Everything that we have worked the last 4 or 3 or maybe 5 years for is finally here. As we move towards a new adventure in the real world, we take a moment to reflect on the past. From that first moment we were dropped off at our dorm wondering what this whole college thing was even about, to stepping into our first mass lecture, to sitting on the 4th floor of B&E and looking around and realizing that we're completely surrounded by the fellow students in our major, to crazy nights on High Street, wild afternoons at Mountaineer football games, and exciting finishes at the Coliseum. And to study groups where friendships were formed and hardly any studying actually got done. The last few years hold a lot of memories that we will carry into our future. In our journey to today, we have made many connections and friendships that have created not only who we are, but also who we will become. Each teacher, group member, internship supervisor, and fellow student has left a lasting impression on us. We all join together to create one large Mountaineer nation. As we have waited together through class, exams, and papers, we have formed a lasting connection with the ones around us. I know that for me personally, some of my closest friendships developed within the accounting major. The friendships made in college are the ones that will last. They're the ones made during a time we were trying to figure out who we were while trying to keep our GPA up. As we move forward, these friendships and connections will become even more important in achieving our dreams. They will be the people that we turn to when we're moving to a new city, starting a new business, or working on an important cause. In the true spirit of West Virginia and this university, we know that when we need it, there will be another Mountaineer to lend a helping hand. As we leave here today, I encourage my fellow classmates to gather these experiences and build our own Mountaineer legacy by making a difference. It does not matter if this is in one life or hundreds. All of us in this room have the skills and the knowledge to do well in our careers. That is what we have spent the last 4 years learning. What I am asking is for us to take this knowledge one step further. As Edward Everett Hale said, "I'm only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And I will not let what I cannot do interfere with what I can do." Take what we have learned and apply it in some way that leaves a mark and influences change. This could be within the confines of our job. Maybe one of us will create an app that changes lives. Maybe some of us will help keep a local business afloat, strengthening the local community and keeping the owner's livelihood intact. The difference we make could be through volunteer work. We could help young girls develop business strategy, or we can instill values in the Pee Wee football teams we coach. The difference could even be made through a positive attitude and our confidence in others. What matters is that we make a conscious effort to do something. The small differences that we make create a ripple effect that can create a wave of positive change. Think about how improving one life allows that person the chance to turn around and support another. Take a moment to think about how those I mentioned earlier that touched us during our time at WVU will affect our future. We've not only been learning how to best reach our target market or the various and many rules of GAP, we have been learning how to enact change. The differences that we make will become the legacies of our lives. As we leave this place that has held many graduating classes before us, I look forward to seeing the legacy that each of us create. Always remember that wherever we are, whatever we do, and whoever we become, once a Mountaineer, always a Mountaineer. Thank you.
Very good. Is she good? Terrific. I'd like to invite Fred Tattersall now to the podium to give the alumni charge. Dr. Fred Tattersall.
On behalf of the West Virginia University Alumni Association and all the graduates of West Virginia University who have preceded you, I extend to you, each member of the class of 2014, congratulations and best wishes. Today, you are joining a legacy of success that reaches back almost 150 years. Each WVU grad has a unique story, and now it's time to write yours. With that in mind, class of 2014, from WVU graduates everywhere, this is our charge to you. Work hard to develop your unique gifts. Take risk and don't fear making mistakes. Be flexible. Cultivate a global perspective and work towards creating a more peaceful and just world. Think for yourself and always choose to be an innovator. Explore new perspectives and places as you travel the world where you're flying WV with pride. Honor the sacrifices of those who came before you and extend a helping hand to those who will follow. Above all, never stop learning. And when people ask about the secret of your success, tell them you're a mountaineer. Once again, congratulations to you, West Virginia's University class of 2014. Dean Sartorelli, I return the podium to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in the basketball practice facility immediately following the recessional, where the college will be hosting a reception to honor today's graduates. Students and parents will have the opportunity to meet with the faculty, staff, and administration. If you exit through Red Gate, you can cross the driveway and enter the practice facility's main entrance. Blue and gold ambassadors and additional signage will direct you from there. Shuttles will be available to transport guests who may need assistance. Class of 2014, parents, family members, friends, faculty, and honored guests, please rise as we join together in singing the words of our alma mater, written in 1938 by WVU graduate student Louis Corson. During the singing of the alma mater, it is customary for gentlemen to remove their caps. Thank you very much.